I was offered 3 bitcoins in 2012.
Okay.
And I told that guy, no, that's fine, you just PayPal me.
Like imagine like one webinar we do, we have 100 people taking your 1 lakh because we've done that. So I've done sales of more than 1.1 crore in just 2 hours.
So when I joined InstaMojo back in 2014, I saw that the first person to cross 1 crore in revenue was somebody who was selling.
Oh.
And he had no funnel. He had a page and he had a link in the page. That's it.
How much maximum revenue did you touch in a month?
In a month, around $3,000 in Google AdSense.
Like for an example, life coaching. A marriage savior coach or a divorce savior coach is the same thing as a life coach.
I think while we were talking, we got to know each other, but still, let's, for the viewers, we can start with an introduction. Karthik, will begin with you. I found your journey most interesting when I found out that you were running schools in Bangalore.
Right.
Because that was new for me. I thought you were doing coaching as the main thing.
Right.
But what I found out was that he was running schools and then he built a product to manage his schools, which eventually evolved into a product to manage the entire backend for coaches.
The automation.
So, Karthik, if you can add more to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think entrepreneurship journey was really interesting, especially when it got started. I finished my law in Bangalore, but then I never even had an idea that I would work in a job, in fact, at that time. And that's exactly, I said, I'm going to start a business. I took about 2 years researching about everything in offline, like finding out how a courier business works, how a restaurant works, and how does any other business work, like the traditional businesses. And after eventually going through a lot of testing, and that's the research part which I did, like finding out people, asking them, how do I start this? Give me a franchise of that. And that made me very interesting. And education was one which really like aligned with my values. I said like, I would love to be in education for the fact that we can really impact a lot of students or the children or even anybody for that matter. So I said, I'll start a school. Okay, initially which school to start? We can't directly go and start a big school, it requires a lot of capital. So I said, we'll start from a preschool and we'll take it. In 14, I took a franchise, didn't work. 14, 15, 16, completely like gone. So we had to lose a lot of money because we didn't know how to get students. We didn't know how to attract students. That comes to the point of how online business came in. And 2017, I said, I'm going to launch my own brand. Then I launched White Petals. So I started learning a little bit about this boosting post and other things in Facebook, which worked really well in 2017. So I started getting parents to the school and we got about 30 students on the first year on our own brand. So I think that gave a lot of confidence. We broke even for the first time in 4 years. And then we started going on the second year with 85 students. In third year, we touched about 170 by using the touch of online marketing without knowing anything, literally. And after 2019 happened, I said, I'm going to franchise right now. So we bought in about 4 to 5 franchises at the time. We scaled up and COVID came in 2020 and we had to like slow down. We didn't shut down anything operations, but we slowed down a little bit. And 2020, by chance, I had to get into coaching because 2019, I was actually looking at how can I become a trainer and coach, not to earn from it, but to actually train my own franchisees.
Okay.
How can I train my people? Because I've always like seen good leaders, or if you want to run an organization, you got to be good at speaking, which I never did. I never spoke in front of camera, neither in front of a lot of people. So I said, I learned coaching to run my business. So 2020, I started learning how coaching works. And since nothing was happening, I said, I'll teach you how to franchise. And that's exactly the coaching journey started. But eventually after I helped a couple of brands, and they're pretty big today. They're all in Shark Tank and other places. And once I started, I saw a big gap area there. Was the system in automation. And I'm no engineering background, but I fell in love with that systems and automation. I said like, it's so amazing that if you can learn the skill, it's like learning farming. You can sow your own seeds and you can grow your own food. And that's exactly where I went ahead. I built the entire thing. Initially, we took up a white label. We started selling it. But then at one point of time, I said, I'm going to build my own. So I put up a team in 2022 and it took us like about 3 years. We went deep into it. And today I can say that we've built one of the strongest softwares from scratch.
Very good.
So we have a complete team. We have about 14, 15 developers working.
Wow.
And it's a new industry, understanding, building it. And now we are at the stage where I feel like every coach requires the solution, not just the system or software. And it's exclusively built for coaches. It's like you click one button. Let's say you're doing Wednesday webinars. The system should know when is the next date, when is the next reminder, everything automated. So we're working towards that so that we can really like free up real freedom for coaches, so they don't have to ever get onto any other platforms to keep manually sending. And the journey of transition to the system and automation has been fantastic. And in fact, I've used the same systems technology back to my education institutions, which grew from 4 to 20 right now. So I think this whole framework got me so excited, because I feel like any business owner today, I think being in the space of public speaking, being in the space of understanding the marketing and understanding how system and automation works can really grow a business. That's my understanding over the 10 years.
We'll cover more of that in detail. For Deepak, I think anyone who's in the marketing space, he needs no introduction. From the time, I think we got broadband like 2008, it was the same time for us also that we started exploring on doing something online. So since then, Deepak has been into this space. He started with his motor blog. Then he has worked with multiple startups like InstaMojo, Razorpay. He has his own agency. And then recently I saw something else on your LinkedIn, which I would like you to cover.
Yes.
So anyone who is in the space, I think they know Deepak,
Yeah.
Digital Deepak.
Thank you. So I started my computer journey when I was in college. Basically, I wanted to play games, right? So got the computer and the kind of entrepreneurship journey started when I was in 11th standard, where I had a collection of games and I had a CD writer.
Okay.
So it was not even DVD at that time. So CDs were like, I think less than 1 GB, 650 MB or something. And the people in the class would want copies of those games. So I would buy these empty CDs for like 13 rupees and sell it for like 40 or 80 rupees for a profit by
The cool
basically
guy in your
copying
the coolest guy of the class.
So I would have like a catalog of games and basically copy those, CDs, and that's where the entrepreneurship journey started. And my dad kind of like, told me to like shut it down, focus on studies, like, get good grades, find a good college, which did not happen. I joined civil engineering, and towards the end of my graduation, I had a job offer letter from an IT company, because from civil, mechanical, everybody is joining IT companies back in 2007, 2006. But 2008, you had the Great Recession. And because of the recession, until 2009, I did not get the joining date. And I felt that when somebody is put into an atmosphere where you have a roof over your head, there is no pressure, and there is plenty of free time, you will only waste time for so long. I think for 2 months, I was just playing games, then I got bored. And I think that space of like 1 year, where I had the internet connection, I did not have any bills to pay or anything, I wanted to do something. So I was passionate about motorcycles. So I learned how to set up a WordPress blog. I set up the domain name, connected. I took a small course for it online. And I used to go to the nearby motorcycle showrooms, test ride a bike, take some photos of it. At that time, nobody would understand an influencer or a blogger. So I would say, I want to ride this bike. Like, I'm planning to buy it. And then go around the corner and then quickly take some pictures on my digital camera, because there was no phone cameras at that time. And I would come back and write an article about that and post it on my blog. The demand was so high, so less than 10% of India was on the internet in 2008. And the offline magazines were not online yet. So there was enough demand, people searching about motorcycles, and there was no supply. So as soon as I published the first article, on the very second day, I got 22 visitors from Google search.
Oh, nice.
And that number in the Google Analytics kind of gave me a kick. So every week, at least 1 or 2 bikes, I would keep publishing about it. And in 6 months, it started getting enough traffic that I started making around 10,000 to 15,000 rupees from Google AdSense.
Nice.
And then 2009, I got the joining date. My dad, like, this can never be your full-time job, so go to the job. So I came here. kind of stayed here for a week, and then I absconded. I did not even quit or anything. Like, I can't do this. So my dad said, okay, fine, come back. And then I continued running the motorcycle blog till 2012. By 2012, it was getting 1 million page views a month. Was recognized as the #1 motorcycle blog in India.
What was it called?
Bike Advice. And it is still alive today. So one of the writers in my blog acquired it.
Okay.
And I took an exit because I felt like the growth was stagnating. And that's what led me to learn digital marketing. So there was no term called digital marketing at that time. It was called internet marketing. And digital marketing came in 2012 when corporates started looking at internet as a medium to get distribution. So I learned SEO. I did very good SEO for the site. Most of the traffic, 99% of the traffic was from SEO. Then we did YouTube. Then we did email marketing back then. Had a social media page and everything. And I felt like I'm building a funnel. I'm publishing all these articles, getting some revenue. So the revenue reached like $3,000 a month in Google AdSense. And I felt that there is no funnel here. I cannot take this $3,000, put it on top of the funnel, have a predictability that, hey, I'm putting $1 on top, getting $2 at the bottom. You just keep publishing articles and pray that you rank well. And that was not really feeling very secure for me, because your Google ranking, even though these labs and all these algorithm changes came much later, I still felt uncomfortable that, hey, this is not under my control. I need more predictability. And I had nothing to sell to my audience. I cannot sell motorcycles. Content marketing is a great way to attract people to your brand, to your business. But content marketing itself cannot be the business, is what I realized. So my dad was like, you built this for 4 years. Why do you want to sell? Why can't you continue growing it? But I think I have always known when to quit. If I just don't get that feeling intuitively, I just quit there, no matter where it is. So I sold the blog for around $25,000 at that time. Today it would be a lot more, but at that time it was like 12 lakhs, because dollar was like what, 45 rupees.
How much maximum revenue did you touch in a month?
In a month, around $3,000 in Google AdSense revenue. We did a lot of user-generated content. We used to run contests and everything. I think more than the revenue, the single highest unique visitors in a single day that we got was 44,000 unique visitors back in 2012.
Wow, nice.
Incredible.
And that was when 12 bikes were launched on the same day in Auto Expo. I had 3 freelance writers covering the Auto Expo. And they kept on sending me the pictures, and I kept on publishing the articles. So all the new bikes launched, everybody is searching for it. So I think that has been my all-time high in terms of raw traffic to a page till date. Right? So then we can fast forward the next 5 years. I worked at X Hotel as a digital marketing manager. Then I worked at Practo as a digital marketing manager, InstaMojo as a digital marketing manager, Razorpay and More Engage. Razorpay was the only company where I completed more than a year. That's an achievement. And I think it was like 377 days, right? Just about like a year.
Couple of weeks.
And fortunately,
why are you waiting for it? Let me complete that.
So I think I get bored very fast, because I felt like once the learning comes to like a saturation point, I felt like, what am I doing here? Like, yes, I'm earning good money, but the learning has flatlined. So usually in first 3 months, you learn like plenty about the industry, about marketing. And then next 3 months, it kind of goes a little bit curvy, and then you flatline in the last 3 months in a year. So then I quit, started my digital marketing courses and agency. And when I joined InstaMojo and Razorpay, it was good for market research, because you are working in a payment gateway company and you know who is making how much revenue, right? I mean, even if that is not the intention, you as a marketer, you look at who are the top merchants, which categories are performing well. So when I joined InstaMojo back in 2014, I saw that the first person to cross 1 crore in revenue was somebody who was selling UPSC coaching. And he had no funnel. He had a page and he had a link in the page. That's it. But the demand for UPSC exam coaching, which we see now, so many companies are competing for it. Then bank exam, CAT exam coaching, Handa Ka Fanda, if you have heard of.
Yes.
So he was an InstaMojo customer, and he was like, this guy is making like what, 30 lakhs in a month? Like, this looks like good business.
He has
right?
now retired, I guess.
Yeah, I think he sold his company to, I think he got acquired by an academy, if I'm not wrong. And so that's when I got the insight. So I knew edtech would be big. And then I got the idea that, hey, now I know funnels, that I'm getting traffic via content marketing and I have something to sell, which is an edtech product. So I started with my Google Ads course, Facebook Ads course. So 3 years I sold those courses. Then I did cohort-based courses. And then again, the mistakes I have done from 2016 all the way to 2024, I have created 3 different companies with 3 different co-founders, and I have let all the 3 co-founders go. So every time I was like, okay, this is gonna work. This is like, permanent. And then in 2 years, 3 years, alignment, change of values, all that. So we can go a little bit deep into that later. But right now, I have gone back to the drawing board, kind of just destroyed everything I have built. Except the email list, obviously, because
because email list is...
Yes, email list is like the fertile ground where you can grow anything, right? So we registered the company in May, end of May. June was the first month we made revenue. We made like
this year.
Okay. Yeah. So we made 1.2 lakhs in revenue, and it's called micro startup. The idea is to build a small startup which is profitable, no need of funding, no co-founders, and the idea is to give the freedom and flexibility for the founder to do what he loves. And my own micro startup is microstartup.com, and I am building this in public, where each and every rupee that comes in and goes out is going to be published on a month-on-month basis publicly. So in June, whatever we made, I published like a Google sheet that saying that these are all the things that we sold. This is where the money was spent, total revenue, total expenses. It is also a good way to force me to be compliant, because now the whole world is my auditor, right? So that kind of brings a certain level of financial discipline, which I think all entrepreneurs realize, that you have some debit and where is the invoice for it, right? You have some credit, you don't know what it got created for. So that also is something I feel like, people would like to see me build a company and learn how to build companies themselves. So that's what I'm doing right now.
So will this have a co-founder?
No, obviously not.
Because he clearly said no, how to build a micro startup without co-founders.
Co-founders, yes.
Really like the domain you have, microstartup.com.
Yeah.
Oh, you should tell about the story.
How much did it cost?
So I think I paid around $5,500 for it. This was originally owned by entrepreneurial.com, but they let it expire, I guess, and somebody else captured it. And when I looked at that particular domain being sold for like, I think it was listed for around 7,000, but then you can negotiate and get the small discount. So I acquired that microstartup.com, but that is just one of the premium domain names I have. I have a lot of other names.
This is a business in itself, where you catch domains right at the point where you expire. Like, there are certain
most of the
tools
domain names I have bought has been for my own future projects, and I get kind of carried away with a dream that this can become a big brand, and I sometimes pay a very big premium for it. And I think most of my investments have gone into premium domain names. If I had invested all that money into Bitcoin, I would have been like a multimillionaire right now. So now
I was
have
offered
to
3 Bitcoins in 2012.
Okay.
And I told that guy, no, that's fine, you just PayPal me.
So that would be $200,000 worth right now.
Yeah.
Easily.
Are you also video blogging your journey?
Yes. I have started a new channel. So Digital Deepak already has 1.25 lakh subscribers on YouTube. But that I'm going to keep it like, because now I've started talking about Bitcoin, life, travel, everything. So that will be like more like a personal channel. And Micro Startup has a separate YouTube channel, has a separate blog, where I will be chronicling the journey all the way to probably becoming a public company.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Prakhar, basically you are the guy whose meme we saw on the internet. Like, I lost the opportunity of Bitcoin at that time in 2012.
So we also have Jitesh there. He's a business coach of coaches. I think we first interacted in 2020, November of 2020. And I saw a couple of video ads you had made on your own, which were very incredible. I mean, they were way ahead of their time. So the kind of ads he was making in 2020, we would not get that from our coaches, our clients in 2023, 2024 as well. So that was a game changer. And I think you have pivoted a lot in coaching. You've started in 2010, if I'm not wrong. And how has the journey been for you, sir?
Yeah, so I was inspired by someone from Ahmedabad, now a friend, seeing him do what he is doing. It was a life coaching program. I attended that, and I was intrigued with that, what he did. He could really impact a lot of people, and he impacted me as well. So I thought, I can do this. It was just a feeling inside, I can do this. I think this is it. So it was very, very clear in 2011 that this is it. And I didn't know what it is called. I didn't know what it is. It's public speaking, it's teaching, it's training. I don't know. You just book up a hotel and, just people come and listen to you for days all together. I didn't understand all that. But I thought that this works because it hits my mindset, and that's very important. So went through all his learnings, whatever he had to offer. Enjoyed that, and then started my own. Obviously, when I started that, people didn't understand what I was doing. My parents were saying, "What are you doing?" So then I took them. The next year again, he came to Indore, and then I took them. Okay, now this is what I'm doing. See, so she was very happy that what the guy was doing. Okay, you want to be someone like him? So I said, yeah. And then the journey started. Obviously, put up a program in Bhopal and we think Indore will not accept it. Someone else will accept it somewhere. So it was a disaster in Bhopal, and almost no people came in. We did a lot of flyers. That time digital marketing was not there. Not much, I would say, back then. And then flyers, and the 10-20 people came in. I stood there, I delivered, I pitched, and no sales happened. I did it a lot of times, and lot of times no sales happened.
What was it about?
It was on soft skills.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did 2 programs. One was Take Charge of Your Life, which was a life coaching program. The second one was a soft skill program. It's called Level Next. So it is majorly targeted to corporate employees. How do you improve your soft skills? So that was
communication.
Majorly communication, other things with that. All the parts of it, listening, everything is part of that. Grooming. So all that. That time it was like, yes, this is something HEP, but people didn't pay for it. For that time they didn't realize it, and that was the journey. And then I was struggling to make money. I was enjoying this, but then we got some contracts in colleges where I was doing the soft skill for students, and it moved on and on and on. But then again, COVID came, and things changed. Things changed for good, because then we understood that we have to pick a subject. So I tried motivational speaking, I tried life coaching, I tried business coaching in general for all the businesses. Then I tried public speaking coaching as a public speaking coach, because now you're speaking so much, you become that. And then I became a digital speaking coach, because that was the COVID time. So now you become a digital speaking coach instead of public speaking. No stages are there. The camera is the stage. And then from that pivoted to video sales. That's how. And then I got to business coach of coaches. So this has been a journey, a beautiful journey. Yes, learned a lot. Got people around me. Family was there. These guys been with us, Avtar, Shivam, and now building a strong company over that.
How many coaches you have presently in your community?
In my community, there should be around 1,500.
1,500 coaches.
1,500. If you see the whole community, we have around 7,000, but majority of them were the part of video sales, project video sales. But this, where we building coaches, around 1,500 right now.
And how many of them are doing about 10 lakhs a month?
I think hundreds of them should be doing that.
Hundreds of them.
Hundreds of them
10
should
lakhs.
be doing that. Sorry, 10 lakhs, no, lakhs. 10 lakhs, 8, around 8.
Around it.
Around 8, yeah. But yeah, in lakhs, because we say six figure. So in lakhs, that's some hundreds. But yes, that has been a lovely journey, and it still unfolds.
Incredible. Avtar, we have talked a lot on calls, discussed performance a lot.
So basically my journey is like universe has some different plans for me. My father has some different plans for me. I had some different plans for myself. So there's three persons colliding. So basically I'm a civil engineer. We share the same thing. Civil engineer by profession. My father forced me to do civil engineering, but I always had a thought that I want to build something on internet. I don't know what, but something on internet. So I started with a social bazaar. Actually, that was I've scaled it to a good level. What we were doing is we were just creating a websites for all the shopkeepers, local shopkeepers, and we were just giving them a free website so that you can put your, we were just competing with Flipkart. Okay, you can do local business online, and we expanded it to 10 plus cities that time. And it was great. It was like back 2017 something, and I was in college doing civil engineering, and my father was thinking like, is he doing civil engineering or is he doing something like, because I always had to travel a lot of different cities talking to different people. Then college ended up, my partners, सबकी job placements and all different things. So the company collapsed, everything gone. My father asked me to go JEE coaching, JEE something, so government job preparation, that preparation. So I was like, that's an opportunity for me to go to just different cities, just away from parents and just that thing. So I came to Bhopal, got to know some new people and started something new. Then I was very much influenced by Gary Vee. So I don't know why I was just liking like this man is speaking on stage and thousands of people just listening to him, what he is doing. But then I saw D-Rock, everyone D-Rock. So D-Rock is basically his cameraman, was just behind every time. I want to do this. And I just messaged that time D-Rock, hey bro, I'm on the same journey and I'll be some days I'll be with you. He replied back. I was like, my best night. I was not knowing if that person would even reply me. He was like, yeah bro, I'm with you. So I'm like, Then I don't know how I manifested. I came to Indore for a coaching. I paid 30,000. I met Pranay, one of my friend. So at the morning I paid 30,000 on a coaching institute. At afternoon I met Pranay. At eve I met this person. And second day I left the coaching.
Oh.
And my father didn't knew it that this person left the coaching for 6 months long. He knew like he is doing coaching. And I said him like, I want to become a D-Rock for you, because he was doing seminars and all back then. I just knew him only. So I was like, I will be the cameraman. You just do your thing. I'll be doing my thing. Then 1 year I did all the things like video editing, graphics, because I had the experience from different shops. सबके लिए free में किया. Then did this for very low wage, like 2,000. I was not into money and all. Like let's do it, because I was getting money from my parents itself that time. Then Corona happened and everything got shut down. Then I got in connect with some of the big coaches in the industry, because I had done a lot of free works for them, like Connor, Alex, Joel, different internet marketers from outside India. So I had made actually a good connections in the US, and I've started, I was thinking to start an agency, like a digital agency for top coaches. And believe me, I just wanted that this Corona thing should extend. Like I don't want to go anywhere. Like it should be there. It should be there. And then Jitesh sir asked me to like, okay, if you're good at these things, why don't you teach? So I was like, I'm not in teaching and all, because my father will say, "Yaar, ye to teacher ban gaya." Like he's teacher. He never scored good marks in college. Never scored good marks. How he can become a teacher or something? Then he coached me for that, how to teach. I started teaching paid advertising. I got to know Russell Brunson that time. Started into offers, funnel building, and all different things. And now I'm working with him as a working partner at JMac. So things. Different plans, and universe is still giving me a lot of opportunities, because I have made a lot of connections in the outer market actually. That's the thing.
Nice.
Awesome.
I think we started at a similar time. Like we also tried blogging in 2008-9. What was that? I think one blog was called Blog My City.
Okay.
we were posting about the city's content. One was called Party Fish. So about the parties happening in Lucknow.
And then there was a tech blog called Blog Muffins.
Okay.
So we were reviewing
So
technology.
you guys started together?
Yeah, and
I
during
think
school time.
We have done 10 or 20 things together.
Yeah.
And failed in most of them. This is probably working.
Probably.
So
Definitely.
You never know as a businessman whether it's working or not.
So we started with blogging. Blogging didn't work well for us. One breakthrough was, I think, Fiverr was launched that time. So I started doing whatever I could on that platform. be it, let's say, graphic designing, learned WordPress at that time, started building websites, whatever was possible. Most of the things were also like I used to take one gig from one seller, mark up the price by 5x, and because I could frame it very differently, communicate better with those clients, so I could just simply buy a gig from one person and sell it at 5x more to someone else.
Service dropshipping.
Service dropshipping. And at that time I was like not even 18, so I was using my dad's account. And one day he was like, "What are you even doing? I don't understand. Go and open your own bank account."
And was it only written communication?
No, it was at times we had to go on calls.
Calls and all.
So that happened, freelancing journey. Then I and Amritanshu in school, we started a tech startup called Prumvi. So this was NFC chips, those NFC cards that you see right now, where you just tap it on your phone and the contact gets saved. We started that back in 2012. So yeah, we were building those cards, and I think that was way ahead of its time, because it is now that tech is coming mainstream. With that, we also went to a lot of B school competitions. In BITS Pilani Goa, we were the youngest team to ever participate in their B plan, and we were the runners up there. So that happened, but we realized that it was time to quit that. It was not going anywhere, so we left that. And then after that also we tried multiple things together, and then ScaleX happened.
I think our first business that we registered was when we were, I think, 18 or 19 years old. And we don't know shit about running a business. We ended up paying 50,000-60,000 rupees as fine because we were not following some compliance which our CA missed.
And we had directly registered an LLP.
Yeah, always happens in the beginning of the journey.
We had to pay some fine of, I think, 50,000 rupees, and a couple of months after that, the government waived that off.
Oh wow.
And it was so tough for us to arrange that money at that point of time.
Now you should ask it back, no? I really worked hard. Where's the refund form? I think one thing that you might have realized through multiple journeys of startup is that we always look at the news of cool businesses, which is always about new ideas.
Yeah.
But in the practical street smart world, you always end up making money when you sell products and services to people who have money. Rather than coming up with a brand new idea, because brand new idea works very rarely and it's like a lottery. So rather than trying to push something like revolutionary into the market, you first start building cash flow by offering predictable products and services to people who are already have got the product market fit, is in which case ScaleX is offering a service to help people scale.
Right.
And these people have already found a product market fit. They need services. Now it's a very predictable way to generate cash flow, and that is something that you might have learned over a period of time.
Right.
And this is something that very often we have to tell our coaches also, because they come to us and they say that I don't have a differentiator. Okay, this is something that these many other coaches are also doing. What differentiates me from them? What unique can I do? And that is when we have to tell them that you don't have to be like unique or very different. You can do the same thing and still make money.
You can do the same thing and you can have 2% improvement in every stage of the funnel.
Yeah.
Like improve the CTR by 2%, improve the opt-in page by 2%, improve the sales ratio by 2%. It will compound into like 20-30%, and it would be the difference between the business failing and the business being extremely profitable.
Yeah.
It's just like the optimization and execution is what matters.
Absolutely. And also, if your business is targeted towards a burning problem or a burning desire, then it actually makes sense, especially in coaching, if you talk about, because this is something which we really talk about, is it a burning problem or desire or not? But sometimes, people just want to do, I want to be a mindset coach. Now, like, boss, what is mindset coaching? What is it? You tell me. You give me mindset coaching right now. They're like, no, it's not like that. It has to go step by step. No. Which problem are you solving? People know they have the mindset. It's not a burning thing, which really is, okay, I want to invest time, energy, money in learning mindset. Yes, if you say sales, and in sales, you're going to give me abundance mindset. You give me life coaching in that. You give me meditation in that. You give me sales mindset in that. I'm okay to learn that. And people are ready to have that in that package, is what we strongly believe here at JMAC, is we have to hit that burning problem or a burning desire. Else, you don't get regular customers. Yes, you'll get few people, but then like, oh, I don't have money for this, I don't have time for this. So if we hit a particular, doing the same thing, like for an example, life coaching, a marriage savior coach or a divorce savior coach is the same thing as a life coach, but the package is very differently because it's a burning problem. It's a burning problem. Boss, it feels that me and my wife are not working out, and she has also said something. I am also confused. Should I continue or not? And I see an ad, hi, I am a marriage savior coach. And now it's going to hit that guy hard.
Yes.
Right? So it's just that I think copywriting and finding the right niche, we call it niche, but but I think it's more of a micro problem or a micro desire which people have, and we have to be, as marketers, as business owners, very sensitive about that if you can catch that and capitalize on that, we have big market.
Coming to niche, I think if you see, there's already a framework that people like get into coaching. So it's like once they get in, they have business coaching, they have personal development, they have different kind of niches. So they're always looking at actually those options which is more suitable to me and where I can pick up. So this takes me back to 2020. Okay, when I was starting coaching, honestly, the niche clarity, right? I wanted to get niche, but I picked up a topic that did not exist. Because I took up a topic where I will teach people how to franchise their business. Franchise coaching didn't exist then.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first point where I start asking myself, okay, should I get into business coaching or personal development? Rather than that, even the coaches even today, because I've trained a lot of coaches to get their niche, and I always see that they're somewhere like in that circle that, okay, these are my options and I need to pick one among them. But as you said, if a coach can actually ask themselves like questions, like what am I really good at?
Yeah.
Can I really make a difference with that? And do people really require this?
Require it. So
Right?
if you pick the same example, franchise,
Right.
you franchised. It's a desire. It's a burning desire. If my business is working or not working, I would love to franchise.
Yes. Scale up, right? It's
Scale
like,
up.
how do you
Yeah,
scale up?
yeah.
And coming with a very good experience also matters. I think, especially somewhere the coaches train on a topic while they should have a background with the same connection. See, if I was teaching franchising, I'm a franchisor myself, right? I built a business, I franchised. Now I'm giving that SOP to people to replicate. Now it gives me very tangible results because I know what I'm teaching. But somebody getting into coaching, I think that should be one important criteria, not just picking up a niche, but also understanding that what have I done so that I can really like teach people. Showing my example. I think this is what even Didi and me were discussing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give my 2 cents to it. So there are 2 ways to look at it. If I am really good at it, I should coach. So are we talking about good or great? Because no one thinks he is great. And no one thinks he's good also. Because the imposter syndrome comes in, right? Am I good enough to coach? Am I good enough to coach? So we as business coach of coaches, and we help people to do that, we always say, if you're good at it, do it. You need to be not to be excellent, not to be great, not to be very good, and everything is not chalked out in the beginning. Because this was a question which always come in our mind as coaches, that are we doing the right thing or not? And if me as a coach, if I'm a coach to someone, obviously they will feel that way. If I feel that imposter syndrome sometimes, even they will feel that way. So I went to my friend, philosopher and guide. He's based in Delhi. His name is Rahul Jain, one of the biggest in India in coaching. And I asked him, Bhaiya, what happens? Like, you've been doing it for 20-25 years. Were you like, when do you start this? Should you become a coach or not? He said, see, you're never great at anything till the time you teach it. So then we made a slide which really, hits in the heads. We made that flip chart. We write good in the bottom. We write great at the top. And we make a, arrow that you will become good to great only by teaching.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Only by coaching. Because you are in the flow, you're in the zone. So yes, I completely agree to your point that we have done something in that, but I don't think, because if someone isn't true expert, then only they should start coaching, because they will become the true expert only if they coach, only if they teach is what.
So having an SOP could really make a difference in that way, because I've seen like of late many coaching industry, right? Like we have many coaches coming in, which we definitely want to welcome each and every coach, but the biggest problem was niche clarity. Okay, when I do community calls, I can tell you I've cracked at least some 1,500 people on call asking me what topic should I select. Even right now when people are watching this, they'll be like, niche clarity, I want to see this. So I think somewhere I think a balance of expertise and something unique
Yes.
that they have,
Yes.
which they can put it across as a package. Because see,
Correct.
coaching by itself is a very intangible thing
You're right.
when you don't have a process or SOP. If you have a framework or SOP of yours, and then you start teaching people, I think that could really like
Absolutely.
impact. And we could, as coaches, help them probably frame a simple framework
Yeah.
which they can stick on and
The
they
version
can go
one.
it. Yeah, version.
The version one. Absolutely.
And what you said about you don't need to be the best at something before you start teaching relates very well to my own journey. Like, I suddenly got into this journey of, hey, I want to become fit. So let's say hypothetically, Arnold Schwarzenegger can come and train me. I don't want to get training from him because he's not relatable to me. He's like way ahead of me. So I go talk to my friend who started his fitness journey like 6 months back, and now he has lost like 5 kgs and he's like looking fitter. I would ask him, what did you start doing? So he is much more relatable to me and he can be a better coach to me than somebody who is like way ahead of me. So you have somebody at a skill level of, let's say, 5 out of 10, he can coach somebody who is like at 4 out of 10 or 3 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
The person who is at 9 out of 10 might be a good coach to somebody who is at 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. Not necessarily somebody who is just starting out, because then you can't like relate to them, understand where they are coming from, put yourself in their shoes.
Absolutely agree to that. Absolutely.
But there's one thing, if you're talking about niche, like Karthik said, if you can only start coaching if you have done something on that particular field, right? I have seen a lot of coaches these days, like we should start with as a done for you service. Let's suppose someone is teaching paid advertising. He has done something in the back end. But I have seen a lot of people like I teach sales, and when we ask for the experience, they are like, I have 100% conversion in the sales. Like, how many calls did you? Like 10 calls I did at the back end, and I'm coaching in the sales. So what do you have in mind for these kind of?
So there is this,
because everyone now wants coaching because they see it's a good business to do, but there is no back end data.
Yeah. So like proof of work is required. If you look at it in the blockchain terms, what have you done, and are you practicing what you are preaching and preaching what you are practicing? And sometimes it's not enough that you used to practice once upon a time. Now you are teaching us outdated skills also. So there is this Tamil movie where there is a comedian, and he says that, hey, come, I will teach you how to earn 500 rupees. The cost of this is 100 rupees. And he collects 100 rupees from 5 people, says that this is how you earn 500. Now you go ahead and do it to others. So this is one part of the entire thing, but there is definitely another side to this, whole conversation, that should you have had cancer and cured it yourself before you can cure others of cancer, like for a doctor, example. If you don't need to have had cancer yourself to cure somebody of cancer. As long as you know how to cure it, and if you have actually helped them, then that is also fine, right? So there are really two sides to the same, of this conversation.
Exactly.
If you have not done it yourself, but if you have helped somebody achieve their goal and got from point A to point B, and that becomes the proof of work which you can use to sell other people to help them achieve the same goal.
Exactly, like cricket coaches, if you look at, they never played for international, right? Still they train people to represent international.
Yes.
So I think it's either through your experience or through your expertise. Experience are the people who've done it, who can teach. It's like find the person who's been there and done it. You find those people, learn the skills quickly, you move ahead. Second are the people who train people to get there. So I think we can probably analyze between both of them with experience versus expertise and take it. Because I read this beautiful book called Midas Touch, written by Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. So in that, the first line itself mentions that Trump tells that, he's very outspoken though. He tells that you can find a lot of authors become billionaires, but you'll not find a billionaire turning into author and telling you this. Right, so I think that experience is different. Like they've been there to tell you. And second are the people who are like doing it. I think we could probably
But that's changing.
But into two.
That's changing now. A lot of billionaires are now becoming authors.
Yes.
Yes, Naval Ravikant, Elon Musk, and now there is a series.
Right.
So lately it has been moving. This book is how old?
This is very old.
That's why.
Yes.
Things are changing.
It's very old.
Now.
I think it's about 20, 22 years
Yeah,
old.
things are changing now. All the billionaires who really want to reach a lot of people, and they know Mukesh Ambani, why is he doing all this? He wants that attraction. He's getting into the B2C business. All the brands are coming in, all they're wearing. So what is that? Is that we want to reach people, an author being an author or a speaker or a camera person or this podcast. What is it? We want that face. We want our face to be associated with that. We have Zoho guy. and we all know where he lives.
Yes.
We have the Kamath, and we know how he looks. So we all are now getting towards the personal branding, and being author is actually happening that way. So now actually billionaires, Naval Ravikant, if you read his book, he's done a brilliant job in his book. He shared his secrets and whatever has worked for him. So that's the other side of the coin, is that now people are wanting to share that. And as they know, the content is the best marketing. If I speak sense, if you speak sense on the camera, and we have their attention, and if you have their attention, then we have a product or service with that, and that goes automatically. I think Manwani is doing it right now. He never got into it. He was a B2B guy.
Exactly.
Now he's coming to the B2C, and hence you can see the shift in the social media. The Anant wedding is not ending, it's Anant. Right? So it's all strategy, it's all business. All the brands they're wearing they have the stakes in that.
Right.
That the lady who came, Rihanna, her
She's
brand
launching
is,
a brand, I guess.
It's with Ambani. So all that, it's a very smart way to look at it, that people are looking for that attention, and that's something interesting.
I think this kind of ability to distribute content did not exist 10-20 years back. And now, since you can become your own publisher, your own media house, right? So every business has a media house, is a media house.
Yes.
It has also decentralized the entire attention, which only used to exist with newspapers, Bollywood stars.
TV, radio, newspapers, magazines were kind of having the exclusivity on attention. But now people were advertising on their channels to get the distribution, but now you can advertise yourself because you have the digital medium.
So becoming coaches and then becoming wealthy coaches, that comes with high ticket. That's also the latest thing in the market, high ticket coaching. What do you think of that?
I think the term high ticket is definitely relative. If I sell a 50,000 rupee product to somebody who is just graduated out of college or is in college, for him or her it would be high ticket. If you are selling a 1 lakh rupee product to a 45-year-old businessman who is making 50 crores a year in revenue, for him that 1 lakh would be low ticket. But let's say in the Indian context, I would say if you have to define high ticket, something that's around $3,000 range, we could call it a high ticket product. And I think the reason why this whole high ticket coaching has become a thing is because as cost of advertising keeps increasing, you can only sustain as a coach if you keep increasing your prices. And then different people have different approaches on how to sell a high ticket program.
I get that. With that smoke, we get that.
So coming to high ticket, I think definitely, as DD mentions, that it's definitely required if you're in the marketing game, because you cannot survive just with selling a 5,000 rupee or 8,000 rupee product on a longer term. And what I've understood in 2021-22, I think probably potentially, as I know, I started off diverting towards the one-time sales into subscription model. Okay, and what made me think was exactly the same. I'm putting in revenue here, I'm getting people, they're learning from me, but they're going away. It's like one time. So I need to find a lot of students to come and pay me one time, and I hope that they buy the higher product again for once. So I said, why don't I make somebody accustomed to what I'm doing so that they can pay me every time? Now where does it come from? It comes from my base foundation of education. You pay a fee this year, next year, third year, fourth year, next 10, 12 years, you have a student with you, right? So you know the future is secure for that business. An institution is very secure because you know the student stays with you. I read this beautiful thing, I think it's in Linchpin probably. If you don't have money receivable, you don't have a business. I think that made me think, and I said, like, let's shift the whole thing into subscription model. And that's exactly when I was building, I said, it's not about high ticket or low ticket for me. It's about how long can somebody stay with me, the lifetime value. And it could be like paying me 5,000 rupees, but how long can they stay? So the whole model shifted. In fact, I started giving at just 5,000 rupees a month, but eventually charged like 70,000 a year, which became like a high ticket, but selling at scale. Like imagine like one webinar we do, we have 100 people taking a 1 lakh because we've done that. So I've done sales of more than 1.1 crore in just 2 hours.
Wow.
Okay, so we've sold it because it's a product, right? So the cost of that is like, let's say I'm giving a 1 lakh for 2 years of my software. So people are already mentally prepared that I can buy it for 2 years. So they're coming with 1 lakh in hand, and I just pitch this for 2 hours. and they're buying a product from me for the next 2 years, and eventually like in 2 hours we make that 1.1 crore. Right? So there's no hard sales of looking at convincing people to take mine, plus no delivery. There's no fulfillment, right, in the whole thing. Now that's a big thing if you're in the service business. You know the pain of fulfillment and completing it. So
These guys know it,
so that's why they're laughing. So I think that's exactly which discovered, because I think I come from a background of that model, and the high ticket and low ticket is all about the journey of your customers, and it's a win-win. It's not like we charge them 2 lakh. It's like they want to pay 2 lakh because they want to stay with you for 2 years. I think that's a very sweet spot that I found out, and I follow the same model till date. So you get in, you use it for a year, use it for a month, use it for 2 years. You can just pay it upfront and start using it.
So how relevant is it that you guys are also into, you know a lot of coaches. How relevant is high ticket sales, right? When it goes to one-to-many. So when you're doing a one-to-many session in a Zoom, 100, 200, 500 people sitting, and you pitch a high ticket offer, let's say 2 lakhs, something around that. Do you think it is still getting that momentum, or do you think it is going up, down? What do you think of that?
Really depends on how well nurtured the audience is, and if the audience is looking up to them a lot. Hypothetically, let's say Tony Robbins is selling a program for 2 lakh and he is selling it to 500 people at a time. And he is going to talk to 500 people. You will hardly get a chance to interact with him, but he will still find enough people to pay that. But somebody who is not that well known in the industry.
Let's talk about, if we take an example of people in India. We know,
yeah.
Right.
So it's relative, right? Like in India, if somebody is charging 2 lakh, they have to promise a lot. Hey, I will talk to you one-on-one, or I will provide a bundle some services along with it. Because this person is not looking up to this person at that level. So he's not going to be happy with having paid like, 2 lakhs, but that guy is like, serving 500 people at the same time. You need an insanely big top of the funnel to pull that off. Like in India, I joined, let's say, Uability X Mastermind. They offer sales training for my team, which is part of the bundled services. They offer offline events, and in the offline events, they used to also book the hotel ticket for us, like not the flight ticket, but the hotel room for us. So now my expectation is higher because I am paying that much. But I did pay 3x the amount to Sam Owen's mastermind, and he had 4 virtual events, and he had weekly mastermind calls, no bundle services, no offline events, and nothing else, no one-on-ones or anything. But I am ready to pay that much because I perceive him at that level
as
of
a bigger
value.
brand. As a bigger brand.
So it all depends on the brand, on how much you can charge, and the stronger your brand and the stronger is the perception from the people who are buying from you, I think the more you can charge.
So the perception of Sam Owens has become so high for you, but just because you have received the value in the past.
Yes,
So it's all about the perceived value and the received value, right?
I think that is one factor, that hey, I have got his $2,000 program. It was like, I felt it was worth it. So I'm going for his $30,000 mastermind is one thing.
Yeah.
But also you look at what they have done and at what scale they are operating.
Right.
He is making like $3 million a month in revenue. Now I have to learn from him. If somebody is providing value, building that trust, plus also operating at that level where you feel like you need to learn their tactics, then you would pay that much.
Would you directly purchase a very high ticket program without experiencing any low ticket program from them?
I have probably never done that so far. But yes, when you look at, let's say, Uability's mastermind, I did not take Uability's low ticket program or a mid ticket program before I joined the high ticket program. And as I said, there are 2 factors. One factor is that you have already received value from them. The other factor is that there is proof of work that they are operating at a certain level, you want to learn from them. I knew that they were, Uability, Rohan was making more than 1 crore a month in revenue. And we were trying to cross 1 crore a month in revenue. We were constantly hitting 70, 80 lakhs and then dropping off from there. So even though I did not take his low ticket program, I think that factor that, hey, he is doing and he would teach me how to do it mattered.
But I think that's rare for most of the people. They
Yes.
have to make someone experience a low ticket
Yes.
program
I
first.
think one more filter in this whole conversation is that it also depends on the level of your client.
Hmm.
Now think about it. If you're like really helping coaches who are doing above 1 crore and you charge 10 lakhs, it's a no-brainer for that coach to put in that 10 lakh rupees. And it's also the topic, the second one. Now think about it, like if it's a health category, or probably if I take my example, if I can teach coaches how to build a software company, now is that interesting?
It is.
Right? So I do a mastermind and say that, okay, you pay me 10 lakhs a year. I show you everything in the back end, how you can build your own software and you can charge your clients recurring. Now that topic is something that's not out there. So could be exclusive with the experience of what I've done. And that could be a topic where people would pay. Like Usability X was that, because they were doing high ticket sales and we know they have an SOP and we want to learn that SOP so that we could sell our 2 lakh products without we being involved through our sales team. I think if the topic and the experience, both of the background, what they've done, I think still people would pay not
But
only
I
2
think in
lakhs.
this
or even 10.
example, the people who would buy would be people who already know you.
Exactly. No,
So-
in fact, I didn't know them.
Okay.
I never met Rohan or anyone. So I just met Pratham on the first call. I said, okay, because I needed the point that we were already doing pretty good per month and I wanted somebody to train my team without me. And when they're taking the responsibility, I'm okay with it. You need 10 lakhs, okay, or 15 lakhs, you can take that. So it's not even like experiencing them. I think if the client value is already doing, it's like you solve problems for rich, they'll pay you huge. I think that is something could be true in high ticket. If your clients and target are pretty much doing very well, and if you can solve their most pain point which they don't like to do, I think those people would pay even on the first go.
Jitesh, what is the highest price point that you have sold your products ever?
10 lakhs plus GST.
10 lakhs.
Plus GST.
So I think most of the people who buy for 10 lakhs would be already having a GST number, so that's bounced back as an input credit.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that does not really become a pain point. And what was the mode of sales? Did you have a sales team sell to them one-on-one?
I did it myself.
You sold it one-on-one to them, right? So which means that at that level of price, you are required to be involved yourself.
Absolutely.
Do you think you can get somebody to sell at that price point for you?
I don't think I can get, but I can train people to do that. Because I am a coach.
Yes.
And I can train people as he's getting trained. And a lot of people in my company are getting trained on that. Today I had 4 calls and we had 3 conversions. So they were there. My team was there. They were listening to the call. Back end, they just
But there are
understand.
people doing this. For example, Rajiv.
Okay.
I think people who take the MBA probably upgrade without his involvement at all.
Absolutely. No, that happens for me as well.
Okay.
No, his question was a 10 lakh rupee product. My product was a 2 lakh rupee product this time.
Okay.
So there are people, he has done multiple sales. There's Ria who has done multiple sales. The Pranay has done, I don't know how many sales, right? So yes, my team does that. But the question was the highest. So
Yeah,
the
okay.
10 lakh one, I had done that myself and I do it myself. I do it that way because at the 10 lakh one especially, I do it that way because I want the right customer in. Yesterday there was one guy who wanted the program. I said, I will not give it to you. There were 2 people. I will not give it to you because you're going to be my pain in the ass, right? So I don't want you in. You wanted crazy. He was like a fanboy. And these fanboys are the biggest pain in the ass is what I will tell you, right? So this fanboy is high energy and goes up and then drops. It's like he'll put your picture next to God and next day he'll throw that outside. And he'll write the worst reviews is what I've understood, right? So I don't want that. Actually, I actually stay away from these kind of people who, because I know they'll never do great in coaching with this attitude. They need to change this, but they're not ready for it as of now because we have to give results in 1 year.
Yes.
Is the coaching program all about? So I think they'll take more time in life, and no one is good or bad, but it's just that they'll take some time and there will be a more dissatisfied customer. So we don't take them.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe that. Things are high ticket, and what my understanding of that is, I think things are going more towards from one to many, a table rush which we all desire and we also feel we deserve. This is my experience completely. Is going down with time because people want to take informed decisions, especially the smart ones, because I want to work with the smart ones. So the smart ones, they want to talk to you. And if you say, I am a celebrity coach, I don't have time, I don't call myself that way. Neither I want to position myself that way. I'm a celebrant coach because I want to celebrate your success, and we'll dance together. We'll have a retreat. We'll do everything. But once you be successful, before you becoming successful, how can we have a retreat, boss?
Yes.
You're just struggling. What is the meaning of retreat? Is to go back and enjoy, right? And we are having retreats, coaches retreat, this retreat, that retreat. I think it's more of a game played on the copywriting of it or the word of it. I've changed the name. We used to have retreats because we have seen other coaches doing retreats. I said, why retreat? It's full time to go all in and fight. Let's accelerate. So now my program is an accelerator program rather than a retreat program. So that's how we have done that. And what I do is, I'm actually known for that, is I'm more accessible to people, to my students, and they want that. And that's why we get rave reviews, and that's why we have a team, and that's why you see Avatar is here, Shivam is here, and a lot of people are there at the back end as well who are helping me do this, and still I have time for that. So I am actually available, or if you see, I'm not talking to anyone. I have SOPs, I have systems, I have trained them, and I'm actually talking to my students. I'm actually talking to my participants. Actually, if I tell you, we have got out of high ticket the 12 lakh rupee program. We are no more doing quantums as of now, because I don't want to sell something to someone and they're like, but we didn't get this, but we didn't get that, because we paid you so much, because
The expectations are
it's too high,
unrealistic,
and especially right now, that is happening in India, because a lot of people they're thinking that, okay, if you come in my quantum, you're gonna make a lot of money. That's not the case. You gonna do your work. You need to be really good at what you do to do a 10, 20, 30, 40 lakh rupee month. So you need to be really good. And if you don't have that skill, what is the sense of you coming in this quantum and me taking that responsibility? Because it is unsaid that if I charge you that much, you need to make that much.
Yes.
So absolutely agree to your point and your point that if you are making that much money, then you accept those coaches. But at the same time, I don't think a lot of coaches are doing that much. Most of them are not doing that much. So they take a high ticket program just to see that, can you scale us up to that level? But maybe they're not ready for that as of now.
It's not a
mentally.
service. They think that it's a service.
Yeah. They think that, okay, if I touch, touch and it'll become gold. So it's not like that. And I think high ticket is to be taken with high maturity and high filtration, because you get all kind of people who are ready to pay, but at the end of the day, they become dissatisfied customers. So we need to have that kind of...
I agree with this a lot, because the biggest mistake I did this year was I sold a high ticket of 25 lakhs. And that eventually became a pain in the ass for our company. Because the expectations change a lot.
Yes.
Now, instead of them doing any work, they expected us to create their course word by verse. They expected us to help them, decide what topic they want to work on, whether they have a clarity or not. They were like, tell me what sells. Now, what sells for Deepak might be very different. What sells for Avatar might be very different. So you have to figure out what sells for you, right? But when you're charging exorbitant money, 25 lakh rupees, the expectations definitely change a lot. I agree with what he said, that they expect you to become a service provider rather than a consulting company.
No. They expect you to run their business.
They would have
We are running their business.
Exactly.
They would have asked us to do the webinar even if
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So to be very honest, in our programs and high tickets, we are doing a lot of service for them, even done for you services for them. But still they're like, ये भी हो जाएगा क्या? ये भी हो जाएगा क्या? So that thing is what I've seen, and that actually creates a lot of dissatisfaction in our team as well. Like, okay, what are we committing?
Yes.
And what are we delivering? And then we are not able to connect with each other and speak with a smile on our face with the client.
Yes.
So this high ticket is, I have seen, and in Hindi it's said, दूध का जला, छाछ भी फूक फूक के पीता है. So there's a lot of दूध का जला in the market.
Yes.
Yesterday I just completed Bangalore Profit Pro Max, right? So people are like, boss, I want to take your program, but I've taken this program, that program, that program, that program, and this was it was high ticket, it's 4 lakhs, it was 6 lakhs, it was like, I know that. You need to see me, you need to see my deliverables, and I can give you a money back guarantee. That's what best I can do.
happens a lot with us also. Most of the people who come to us is like, this agency promised XYZ and they have not delivered at all.
Yeah.
And I can resonate to them, because whatever, even if I am outsourcing anything to a service provider, let's say our finance is outsourced, we have changed 3 agencies, and it's so tough to find the right people who take accountability. So the service sector, I think it's messed up.
And one more thing, with this high ticket thing, if people directly jump into a high ticket offer, the vibe match is very different. I can't see the vibe match a lot of times, so I don't take them. I tell them, you take the first level. Even if you cannot attend 3 sessions with my guy, I'm going to ask my guy, shall we upgrade you or not? Because we have seen that people have taken a high ticket course, they have not even come in the sessions.
Yes.
And I'm talking about coaches who are doing 1 crore a month. I'm not taking names. They've been in my company, they've studied with me, learned with me. But it's just that I'm just telling you, people, the vibe match, I think we are seeing less of that. Directly, if they jump into a high ticket, the expectations are very different and the alignment is not there. So I think a smaller ticket program, a low ticket program, maybe your CAC would be a little high, or maybe you break even at the smaller level. But when you work with them, you understand, okay, these guys are someone we would like to serve them more. We would like to associate with them more, and they also feel the same. Not everyone, but many of them feel that, and then they upgrade. So I really like the L1, L2 thing. I don't have a lot of levels.
Many people are like sort of against that you
Exactly.
should not
Actually,
do a 99 or a
So what
299
would be the
webinar.
practical advice for someone who wants to start at 3-5 lakhs a product? Actually, I met a guy yesterday and he was like, I don't want to do L1, L2. I have a product of 3 lakh rupees. I directly want to sell it to people. Just give me good quality leads from Facebook itself. And whatever you want to charge, you can do it by the way. So what would be the practical advice if someone is listening, like directly want to sell 3-5 lakh rupee product instead of just doing a low?
Practical, I think, would be to build a value ladder, like build a
it need not necessarily go through a 99 rupee workshop or 10,000 rupee 3-day event, because both are trying to nurture this audience to a level where they trust that, hey, this guy is the right person to buy from, so I will pay 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs to them. It can also be built by selling a book. It can be built by putting people on an email list and nurturing them over a period of time, which is what I have primarily done. So on some level, you need to build that trust. They need to pay a little bit of attention, get some value back. And once that attention versus value, it need not always be, I paid you money, I got value back. I paid you attention because that is also like a limited quantity. Hey, I sat and watched your video. I sat and read your emails. I spent limited amount of time which I had to consume content from you with a hope that it will help me, and it did help me. Now I want more.
Yeah.
Then if you have nurtured them enough, you can go for a 3 to 5 lakh rupee product
Travel
directly.
in your universe somehow.
Yes,
I also feel it depends on the product completely, because see, if it's a 3 lakh franchise, for example, I can take an example of my own franchise, which is 3 lakhs, and we sell it directly. Because we're talking about coaches here for other coaches, but these coaches are selling something else, right? Health, improving health, or astrology, numerology. There's a lot of different products and services they are selling. But coming to 3 lakh, I feel it's always not the ladder, because if I have to do it myself, I would follow the ladder. I would do L1, filter them, pick them up and sell it. But what I've done is I've just put up a telecalling team. I just have one telecaller. I run about 700, 800 rupees per day ads, and every day we get about 15, 20 leads.
For
the franchise, which is 3 lakhs
is
of
it a
White
coaching?
Petals.
Is it a coaching franchise?
No, it's a White Petal school franchise.
School franchise.
Yes.
So absolutely. The franchise, when I say a franchise, automatically in my mind is at least 2, 3, 5 lakhs or above.
No, the thing is, these coaches also are not selling the coaching programs, right? It's not like they're teaching again how to become coaches. These coaching also are in the health niche. Let's say reversing diabetes. Now that's a product by itself. It's a 1-year training where I'm going to help you work out every single day, improve your health and deliver something. Now this comes with a package of 3 lakh rupees, if you look at it, or 2 lakh rupees. So this can be a high ticket, right? It's always not the marketing part that we're teaching them how to make money. How to make money is one part, but delivering through, we have some of the astrologers who do like about 10 to 15 one-to-ones with them, and that also is a delivery of a product. So irrespective whether it's a product, service, I think if the value of that product can think like, just like Jitesh said, franchise, we already know it's high ticket. If the product itself makes you feel, oh, this is expensive, I think it's easy to sell directly, because it sets the expectation very clear.
Exactly.
And when we know that this is like available for 5,000 rupees around, then we will set our expectation that I can pay 5-10,000. So I think if the product of the nature of the product of your client, if it's like qualifying to be a 3 to 5 lakh product, you can simply have a telecalling team, call 100 people or 1,000 people for that matter, you'll still end up doing a lot of conversion. Because in fact, personal experience, because I speak with what we've invested, we make most profitability in my franchise rather than anything else.
That's true everywhere.
Yeah.
You see MBA chai wala.
Yeah. Yeah, but depends on what franchise they're selling. So
just an idea is that franchise makes money.
Exactly. So if the product is good, I think we don't even need huge budgets.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere if the product creation or service creation can be of that value, it could be sold directly also.
I agree.
I think
really
both
depends
works.
on the product. Like if I tell you that, hey, pay me 5 lakh, I will give you a 100-gram gold bar, which is worth 7 lakh. You'll like immediately pay. I don't even need a sales pitch. Right? It's a commodity. But in this context of coaching, which is a very interesting point that you made, that these fanboys, they will arrange 10 lakhs somehow. They will pay you. Then they will expect the sun and the moon without putting in the work. I feel that they are making an emotional decision.
Yeah.
And it's more like gambling.
Yeah.
Because if you are gambling, and if you are only gambling with the money that you can afford to lose, then you don't feel anything. But if you are gambling with your life savings, then you get that feeling, right? If I win, I'm gonna win big. If I lose, I'm gonna lose everything. And they are addicted to that feeling.
Yeah.
Right? It's similar to, men who fall into toxic relationships, where if it does not go well, it's their life at stake, and they're addicted to that feeling.
And they keep falling.
Yes, exactly. And they go from one toxic relationship to the other. Same with women also. They go with one toxic guy, then the next toxic guy. They're always complaining. And I feel there is this certain type of customer who come to the high ticket. One is a logical customer who is having the right expectations, who is at that level, who will use it. But the people who are fanboys, who pay that much and also not use it, actually almost cannot afford to pay that, but they somehow take a credit card payment and everything because it gives them that feeling.
I would put my question just here because that timing is very good. How would we get to know, is this the client, this one, or in this boat or that boat? Without a one-to-one conversation, how would we get to know which one is that guy?
I think one-to-one conversation may you have to kind of find out whether this guy is this emotional kind of guy who is just paying us this much because he gets that kick when he has so much to lose, and now he is going to expect the sun and the moon out of you.
Absolutely, and we need that check.
Right.
If we don't check it, we have a headache, and we don't want that headache.
Yes, we need to qualify them.
Yes,
and I think that is not something I've got into yet, but I've identified the problem because I have at some point done that.
Yeah. We all have done that.
Could revenue be like a breakthrough for that? Because if you're making X amount of money, then I think
who's
we can
gonna
help
check
you
the
scale.
balance sheet?
Yeah.
They lie.
Yeah, they will say.
People lie.
If they really want to get into your program, they will say, I'm already making 5 lakh a month.
But we have had cases where there is a brand making like very good revenue. In fact, it was something last month itself, but these guys didn't even talk to the team properly. They were like, I felt like this guy is an intern, so which is why I was talking that way. But even if that person is an intern, that is not how you would talk. So I think even revenue can't define that.
Yeah.
And they fake it. I have seen they fake it a lot. They will tell you, we have done 15 lakhs a month, 10 lakhs a month. That was once in their life.
Yeah, correct.
So Amritanshu has told me to now go and like make them share their screen and show us the dashboard that this is actually a CP or this is actually a spend before we take them.
So for example, when they are coming on our sales call, they tell us that we are selling a 99 rupee ticket and a CPA is 400. Now when we actually onboard them and we have a look into their account, their CPA is 1400.
And maybe it was 400 for 1 week.
1 week.
Probably in January of this year.
one day.
Right.
You're right. So, people are, playing these games. So what we have done for a high ticket is, boss, you want to take it right now, take it right now. You want to meet me, take this form, fill it. You should not have a money problem that time because I'm giving you my time and that is money. So take this form, fill it. Let's speak. You have any questions, I'll answer it. Let's take a mutual decision. Is this the right thing for you or not? And they're like, oh my God, half of the room took it. And my conversion is 80% in a one-on-one.
How do you know a person in a webinar? Because I've seen a lot of coaches selling 5 lakh, 6 lakh rupee product in a webinar itself, like 500, 600 people sitting there. They're selling 5 lakh rupee and like 50, 60 people.
See, I'll tell you,
joining
in coaching, I do not understand that thing. That used to happen 2 years back, 3 years back, where people were very new to all this thing, and people like, wow, these coaches are making that much, driving in different cars, having a different lifestyle. But I think now the smart guys have understood. They've already taken some courses, and they are smart enough, and they want to take an informed decision, and they want to have their own time, maybe 1, 2, 3 days to speak to their family, to speak to their husband, to speak to themselves, and then come to a decision. I'm absolutely okay with that. So I do a very simple thing. I tell them, boss, if you're interested, let's talk. It's not only me. You also speak to them. Pranay also speak to them. Riya also speaks to them. So yes, the team is there. If I'm maxed out, I would give it to them. So it depends on my thing that, I want this guy or I don't want this guy. And sometimes they say, sir, this guy is too mature for us. I'll take him. If they're like, I know you can handle it. So we do it that.
So is it a good idea that to sell high ticket always on a one-to-one call, or like we can do it on a webinar or something?
I feel like one-to-one is a great system because see, if you look at a high ticket itself, it's like a very specific problem we want to solve for your client, right? So if you identify that on a webinar, you can't. It's like you're saying that I can do all of this stuff, but you really don't know who's the person who's taking it. And as you said, if that becomes a wrong person, it's not about that person going here and there. It's like you will actually be unstuck because to bring them back on the basic itself is impossible. Like they don't have the curriculum, they come and pay you 5 lakh. How do you design that? Do you do branding? Systems, what can
expectations
you do?
are not
So
clear.
not going to send them a templatized solution. Like you're
See,
not
if you really want to have a peace of mind as a coach to sell high tickets, I think speak to the person, understand where they are, where they want to get to. If you are able to take them from point A to point B and you're confident of that, only then take them into a high ticket. Otherwise,
so that you can stay in the game for long.
Exactly. So that
I'm in this for my lifetime.
Absolutely.
I don't want headache on all this, right? And what high ticket, what they're paying right now is going to be peanuts after 10 years because I know they're going to pay me a bomb for that, right? So it's just my nurturing time.
Some of the coaches who sell directly through webinars, couple of things that they do is, one is that they give a lot of clarity on who this is not for. And the second is, if they feel like during the program that this person is not a good fit, they refund.
I think one funnel like what Shubh does, right? So you get on a call and you do a webinar, then you book a call at 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees. Then you filter people and take them in. So if you feel it's good, you take them. If you feel they're not, you refund the 1,000. I think that's also like a good hybrid model.
It's a good way to filter out people.
Hybrid model, so that you can address more people.
That's a masterclass, yes. So you do a masterclass and you get one-to-one calls.
That's what Dan Locke does. Like he do a 3-day event, full 3-day event. He doesn't sell anything. He just book a one-to-one call if you want to work with me. He just sells the one-to-one call. That's it.
Jitesh, I had a question off topic. So what is the difference between a masterclass, webinar and a workshop?
So webinar, we all know, is speak for 1 hour, sell for half an hour, give your link at 90 minutes, get the payments. Masterclass would be, I teach for 1 hour. I tell them, boss, are you enjoying learning with me? Yeah. Would you like to take this journey ahead and you would like to keep learning with me? Say yeah. So how about, I have a course and this is the duration of it. Would you like to know more about this? Say yeah. So how about coming on a call with me or my team and understand, is this the right thing for you or not? Let's take an informed decision together. Then Then you give the link, the Calendly link, the slots get booked and you speak to each other and then the closure is way, way higher, way higher. Because the acquisition cost is going so high, you guys know it. It's going so high. How we make money out of that? We can't waste leads. The lead was 7 rupees 3 years back, 4 years back. Today it's 100. You know it better, today's data. 100, 150 free lead we're talking about, right? So I think we have to ganne mein se sara juice nikalna padega. We need to get the juice out of that fruit which we are buying. That's a lead. So I think we have to do that, otherwise we'll not be profitable. And the biggest challenge, one more, is nobody's talking about profits in coaching business. I don't know why.
It's revenues only.
It's revenue.
Everyone is just sharing the revenue.
Not just coaching, but all businesses.
Yeah. I think Rahul Jain is needed in everyone's life, right? This guy has brought my attention all to profits, but what's your profit, boss? You're talking about such numbers, what's your profit? And then when we come to those numbers, then we really understand that we're bleeding bad sometimes. So we need to see that. And then only such decisions have been taken in our company. That, okay, now we're focusing on profits and you talk about 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, which is out of what?
So let's address the biggest elephant in the room. What do you think is the profitability percentage on an average in coaching business?
On an average, I would say 25%. But if I talk about real good coaches who are making legacy out of it, it is 60 to 70%.
Right. So what do you think, Prakhar and Amritansh?
I'm closely working with a coach since 1.5 years. So we are doing 10 lakhs in revenue at 6 lakh in ad spends. Now I think we have scaled to 35 lakhs in ad spend and 35 lakhs in profits, pure profits after excluding all the fees and everything. So it's around 40-50% is a sweet spot to have.
So this is excluding all the rentals, salaries, everything.
Yeah.
Fees, all tools, Zoom, all the cost, 40-45%
Okay.
ad spends.
Perfect. And Didi?
My answer would be very different because I feel there is no strong moat in coaching, right? You can expect to have 30% profit for a while, 50% profit for a while, but if it is a very profitable niche, then more players are going to come and the free market is going to drive down the margins. So the way I look at coaching is that it's a great way to get attention from people. It's a great way to build distribution, and if you can siphon off the distribution into like a SaaS product, and then get people into a recurring, and then that product's dependency becomes a moat. Like if you look at Nathan Berry from ConvertKit, he started out as a coach. I have bought his courses. Then he eventually built ConvertKit. Now ConvertKit, I have been using it for the past 6 years. I am not able to move away from it because my entire sequences list, everything is there. I won't move away from it. Now, if I get into coaching, I don't intend to make a profit from coaching because if I am leaving out 20% profit on the table, that is potential distribution that I could have built right now, because the same leads which I can acquire for the 20% margin today might cost 5x 5 years later. So might as well acquire those leads right now, put it onto my email list, start building a relationship with them. So the way I have scaled so far is that I have always reinvested everything back into building the email list. And also one more reason I feel that that's a good strategy is to deliberately not to have any profits, is because if you have, let's say you make, let's say 1 crore in a month, you make 30 lakh in profit. Now you have to pay taxes on that profit. So let's say you don't pay any tax, you pay the entire thing as your salary, you have 30% goes away from there. Now you go ahead and spend some, have some fun, but remaining you put it in an asset. That asset gains, you have to pay capital gains on that. Then you take out that money, spend it, you have to pay indirect taxes like GST on that. Now instead of taking out that 30 lakh in profit, if you put that 30 lakh into email list building. Now email list with a drip sequence is a store of value in itself, and you are writing off the advertising expenditure as an expense, but it becomes like an intangible asset in your business. Now this particular 30 lakh is now held as email list, even though it does not show you a bank balance kind of number. What can 30 lakhs give you? If it is 100 rupees a lead, 1000 rupees may you can generate 10 leads, 10,000 may you can generate 100 leads, and 1 lakh may you can generate 1000 leads. So you have got 30,000 high quality leads which you start building a relationship with, and then you can generate cash flow out of it again in the future.
But don't you think
what I would do is just keep reinvesting everything back into list building. Because if you are doing webinars, workshops, and then trying to sell something, you cannot instantly put that 30 lakh back into ad spend. Then you will not be able to deliver. But if you have multiple lead magnets and you distribute the budget across all the lead magnets, it captures all of this just like rainwater harvesting, and then keeps nurturing it on automation. And anytime you want to generate cash flow out of it, just like a real estate investor, right? Real estate investor made a lot of money by building a house or like a bunch of apartments, selling all of it. He's not going to divert that capital. He's going to buy more of real estate because again it generates cash flow. So that is something that has worked for me. So when I was scaling up with my digital marketing training program, I used to just take out a salary, and whatever capital that was remaining, I used to put it back into list building. And today I've generated, I think, 2 million leads till date. And as of now, I have 2.5 lakh active subscribers on the email list who are like super fans. So whatever product that I launch, it will generate cash flow for me. Take that cash flow, again build more email list. So I've been doing this cycle.
It's
So
like
that is-
How big
reinvesting
is your
back on your
team?
business.
How big is your team
Right now it's just 3 people because I have scaled back and gone back to the drawing board. But at its max, we had 15 people in the team.
Okay.
How big is your email list?
Email list is 2.5 lakh active.
Oh.
Obviously, it will keep decaying. But
My one
if you
question
keep
is,
launching,
so let's say that you're using ConvertKit for emails, right? So you get charged based on this number of subscribers. So let's say you have 2.5 lakh over these years, like it's pretty less compared to what you acquired totally. So can you tell me what's your actual subscribers and how did you filter it to 2.5 lakh? Do you delete them off? What do you do with them?
So the normal rate of email list decay is 10% month on month. And if you keep adding 10% month on month back to fill it up and top it up. So let's say you have 100,000
DK is they unsubscribe.
unsubscribers
Okay.
and also cold subscribers, because cold subscribers are people who don't open the email for the
Okay.
Right.
past 90 days. So 3 months they don't open the email, they are cold.
Got
They are just dead weight on your email list, so you remove them manually.
In the sense you delete them
unsubscribe. I delete them manually.
directly?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Do you
just,
have a
I'll
backup?
just put something in the middle to make it more interesting. That doesn't happen with real estate, because you took an example of real estate.
Decay, yes.
Right? The real estate multiplies with time. So if we have a 2 million subscribers and we have left with 2 lakh, real estate has multiplied over those years
Yes.
and there's no decay. So
Yes.
just a small insertion on that.
No, that's an interesting outlook as well. Obviously, it's much more complex. That's why not everybody can, keep putting money into building an email list.
So how do you crack that?
So the way I look at it is that, have you ever left milk in the stove, put it in the simmer, forgot about it, then came back and like, oh, I forgot about it. And then you make tea or coffee with it. The coffee tastes very good, right? Because all the water vapor has gone out. So what I have observed is that I have generated 2 million leads so far, but out of which the maximum active email list at any point in time was 450,000. And then for almost 6 months to a year, I reduced my list building a lot because obviously I started taking profits, diverted the capital to something else and everything. But what I have observed is that from 450K, the drop to 350K was instant. And then it starts slowing down.
Okay.
And then from 300K to 250K, it took a lot of time. And now from 250K, it is taking time to get to 240K. Which means that this is what I was hunting for, anyway, right? So now this relationship with the list is an asset built over a period of time,
And
which can be
is
capitalized
this relationship
anytime.
homogeneous or they're heterogeneous?
Homogeneous.
That are they similar people?
It's very different people.
So heterogeneous.
Yes,
So you have
heterogeneous.
so many offers so that you can serve them.
Yes. And you have to have multiple offers in this case because I promote affiliates. I promoted pretty much a lot of people in the industry. And when I get an affiliate commission, again, I put it back into the list. Right?
Now I don't think all coaches could do that.
It's gold.
Yeah, so keep building that list and keep maintaining that list because that's where I store my wealth. It's like 5 MB CSV file. And you could take that 5 MB CSV file, try mailing it, you won't make money because it's my name and the
Your
relationship I have with the list which
Right.
makes sense. So what is money? Money is trust, right? If I give you 500 rupees, why would you take it? Because you trust that somebody else will accept it for real world goods and services. Now I'm converting this money back into an email list and a relationship with the list, and because of my email follow-up sequence, they trust me, and money is trust. So my bank account is literally the relationship that I have with people and what perception they have in their mind. So it's the most intangible way to keep your assets, and it's also the most financially effective way because you are building this intangible asset and not having, if you have a profit, as I said, you pay taxes on the profit, then you invest, you pay capital gains, then you reinvest, you spend it, you pay GST on it. But so where do you store your wealth? So this is a way to store a wealth, like Bitcoin is a way to store wealth, real estate is a way to store wealth. You need that level of conviction in your audience, in your email list, and on the tech part of the email list as well, that hey, my spam rate has to be in control, my deliverability has to be on point.
So what's your general open rate?
Around 25%. 25% on a list of like 2.5 lakh, right? So that has happened over time because if I send out an email campaign and I get like 25% open rate, I filter that out and I send an email campaign only to the opens. That will get like 50% opens. Then I filter that out, send an email only to those people who opened that, it will get 80% open rate.
Yes.
So over a period of time, if I can get to 1 million people with 40 to 50% open rate, then with any product launch, I will be able to make like 1 crore in revenue, even if it is a 10,000 rupee product. And then because of that product launch, a bunch of people are going to unsubscribe, but some people never unsubscribe. They are like permanent fans, right? I was surprised to know that you were on my email list. And those kind of people will have a little bit more tolerance, because I will be like, last day, today, like in 3 hours remaining to sign up. A lot of people will go away. But still, if somebody is like a super fan, they will have more tolerance. So it's like, if I keep giving you a lot of value, or if you have some request from me that you are asking, and I keep serving that request, then I have the right to take a request from you, right? If I have picked you up from the airport for like 5 times, and one day I land at your city, like, hey, Jitesh, can you pick me up from the airport? You would. And that is how this relationship is built, and it's a one-to-many relationship. And the thing is that whether your email list is 10,000 subscribers, 100,000, million, or 10 million, the effort that you put to nurture your list is the same. I write like 3 articles in a week. So that feels like, an extremely leverageable business.
Absolutely.
You can put it that way.
I totally understand your point, and also your way of communicating with them, right?
Yeah.
I think we are also doing a very similar thing. Yeah, our L1s are that.
Yeah.
Our L1s where we just break even maybe sometimes, right? But that's what we are nurturing them, right? But I am doing it with my videos, with my sessions, and sometimes with email. But what he's doing is only emails. So that's what you like to do is you like to type, you like to write, and I like to speak. So I think we all are doing what you are doing, and that makes sense.
And also, not everybody will be a reader. Some people are more audio-visual. They would like to read. So we are probably targeting different segments of audience, and then there will be an overlap as well.
You're right.
It's about getting their attention with, let's say, 10 emails, you have their attention for this time.
End of the day,
in a webinar, you have their undiverted attention for, let's say, 60 minutes or 90 minutes, which is very valuable.
If we are talking about profitability, there's one question, right? So earlier we used to, on the Corona time, we used to get profitable at L1 only, just by selling the courses. No,
exactly.
We are just selling courses, not coaching even. We're just selling courses selling. Then CAC is increasing day by day. Now people started saying, okay, L1 is just for the break even. You get profitable at L2. Okay, so some of the coaches got big. No, for some of the coaches, L2 is even break even. L3 they are like L3 like. Or also from L3 you have started doing affiliate links and this, so to get profitability. In US it was just 10 years back. It happened, sab kuch ho gaya and everything went down. Now you can see on top of the coaches, they are selling their courses for free as a lead magnet, and they are making SaaS as the back end. So what do you think is going to happen in India? Because there everyone is going to see, you talk about Sam Owens, he just sold everything, like consulting accelerator like on a booster mode during Corona, like just take it out for a $500. It was a $2,000 product.
See, this is exactly what I started in 2022 because I don't have a course for anything else. I teach people how to use a system to build their coaching business. So this was in 2022, and I can tell you even till date. Okay, so whatever we do, I think it's all about teaching them how to use it. And since it's a product based, I think it's just getting warmed up. If you look at agencies, digital coaches, or business coaches, or anyone right now are referring a third-party system. They're sending them to ConvertKit or ClickFunnels and Teachable and other stuff. Now, how about they creating their own name? And honestly, nobody worries about what's the backend. It's not like, did you build? You're not an engineer to build it, right? So it's about you having your brand. And do you think your own students will subscribe to your brand? 100%, right? So they don't go anywhere else. And this is exactly 2022 till now. What actually helped us scale was about SaaS coaching itself. In the sense like how to use a system itself is a big topic where a lot of people get stuck technically.
So you mean to say your product is a white label for us?
Yes, it's a black label.
Black label.
So how does it work? Basically, let's say that you have a company, now you use ClickFunnels. Now what is it? You're using a product of somebody else, right? So now, instead of using ClickFunnels or any other brand, you say that my company is XYZ. I'm going to build up a software called XYZ. Now your backend tech partner can be Infosys, It could be me or somebody else.
Got that.
Nobody worries about the back end.
Got
But your community sees that, okay, you have a tech team behind you and they subscribe to you, and now you build a recurring business where you don't send them through affiliates or any third party.
Let's come on a call.
But
It's sold.
So basically, you are solving a problem
Yeah.
from a product that you have built in the backend.
exactly.
And you're teaching how to
on-
use that product basically on your course.
Yes, and only for coaches.
Only for
for
coaches.
coaches.
Only for
specific
trainers.
niche.
Like JMac wants to create this thing, and obviously people trust us, so they would love to take it from us, and he can help us do that. So he can help us create a convert kit. He can help us create an automation. Yeah, it's sold. Yeah.
Podcasts.
Right. So the main thing is about it's about really solving that,
Yeah.
which I identified initially. I was coaching people how to do it for customers, and now we've stepped back and said, I'm not selling to anybody. So I'm not going to compete with my team. So rather, I stay in the back end. I help business coaches, digital marketers, agencies, so that they can build it and we don't sell it directly, and you can scale up using that. And sometimes you might not require a lot of features. Tomorrow, let's say that you don't need, like, I don't need probably a website builder. So you can hide it, customize your dashboard according to you, and use it. And I think that is like the future's multi-billion-dollar industry, because the SaaS revolution, if you look at right now, even with School, Sam Owens, everyone is investing time into it. And I think for everybody to build using
Is he
millions
doing
of
the
dollars.
same thing? Sam is doing the same thing.
Yes. So he's built the school for a community, but right now he's getting into automations and other stuff. So it's like the all-in-one marketing system. So very less players, but I think if that can be something that you have a product, retaining your existing clients for an agency or coaches or anyone would be a great thing. And I think that's been like the next big thing that could be in the coaching industry.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I have few friends who are solving problems related to offers for coaches, bought some domains like lowticketoffers.com, something like this, and they are building some courses and giving it for free, but at the back end they are building 5-6 SaaS products so that they will teach on that particular course that how to use these products, and they'll just sell it for subscription based, like $100 per month, and it is just the pennies, that $99 we are solving.
I think I came across one of the coaches. His name is Vivek Bajaj. He is a stock market coach. So I went through his program of stock market coaching. He made 51-hour videos. So he's giving out 50 hours of quality content, quality production, quality knowledge, and everything. The only differentiator is that he's using his own software inside it. He's showing StockEdge, his own proprietary software, which now I tend to use.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's just 6,000 a year.
And as you said, see, when you have something like COVID, which makes a certain industry very profitable, you have too many players entering the market. And then now everybody is feeling like L2 also you cannot make a profit, you have to break even. You will also have this extended period of recessionary kind of constrained time, which will also make a lot of people exit the market.
Yeah.
You just need to stay alive.
Exactly.
And then you will again have a headwind. Maybe it's the AI wave that, hey, everybody is losing job. And if you stay in the game, then you will again, instead of capsizing, if you are still floating, then there is a tailwind, then it will push you forward. Because I started in 2016, and I kind of was feeling that, hey, all these offline institutes cannot manage their real estate cost. So online training will have an advantage, and slowly they will probably go out of business. I was expecting that. And COVID came in and suddenly killed all the offline institutes, right? Especially in digital marketing, you had so many offline centers where people go sit and learn. All those got wiped off. That entire market came to me because I was in the learn digital marketing space. So now again, the CACs are high. Business is definitely down, 20% of what it used to be. And I have not tried to push up the revenue. I'm just going with the flow. As long as I am alive, there will be another wave. And by that time, the next wave comes, a lot of people will go out of the market as well.
Yeah.
And then you'll have the next wave.
I have a different point of view in this.
Okay.
We call it in our coaching community, we call it surfers and sailors.
Okay.
So surfers are majorly on the waves.
Yes.
Right? They catch a wave, then they catch a wave, then they catch a wave, and it's fine. It's AI wave, it's a robotic. We gotta get a robotic wave very, very soon. Elon Musk has already declared it, so we can see the wave coming. AI wave came just before the ChatGPT launch, and as it launched, they're gonna be waves, and they're gonna be surfers, and then they're sailors who go deep in the sea and have their own fuel, go deep into it and find new ways to create the way for themselves. So that is one way to look at it, and one of them is one of them is Rahul Jain, who has done it very well for himself, and that's why I just follow him. What he has done is he's been the first business coach almost of India. He brought business coaching in India 25 years back, and he's super profitable at very high revenues, and that's 70% of profit, maybe more than that. So he's that sailor. So what he has done is, boss, I know business coaching. Let me teach business to business people in India, and let me teach it in a manner that I am able to solve that problem. And you'll be amazed to hear that, because this realization which I shared with you, the one-to-one and the one-to-many selling, I called him. I said, Bhaiya, there was a time when I used to pitch, and there was a table rush and tuck, payment done in the chat. Why is it not happening now? So he was like, I asked him, so have you done one-to-one sales? Because he closes 300 people in a call at 11 lakh rupee product, right? So we're talking about big numbers here. So I asked him, how? Like what am I not doing? Tell me, you know me very well, you know my business. He said, do you know 3 years back, till three years back, I was just closing in one-to-one. It's just 3 years I've been started doing one-to-many, because now is Rahul Jain a wave and is a brand. And people are already nurtured who are coming, because I'm getting a reference model, and those who are coming in my webinars and workshops are all through reference based, so I don't have ad cost. That's why I introduced these guys to him. Is the game is different. He's a sailor. The business was there, not there, he was there. He was closing people from morning 8 to evening 10. Close, 60% conversion, 70% conversion, close. And then he got that thing which was phenomenal. And I think the whole industry, if you put it, all this self-help development in India, and other side, this guy, it is that big.
Since you're talking about someone you have learned from, who are the coaches that you guys have taken courses from or learned from?
I really want to know it from DD.
Sam Owens is still the guy, number one guy that I have a lot of respect for. Then I have...
Exactly, I will add to that.
Yeah.
He also said the same thing what you said, Rahul. Bhaiya, he said that Jitesh, make a product, because these guys don't want to do anything who you are teaching them. So we need a SaaS. So just adding to your point that yes, we need a SaaS, because people need that support, because we tell them, okay, go to this Google sheet, put this formula. They can't do all this. They need an easier way to do it. So I'm 100% with you on that, is that yes, with coaching, a SaaS product should be there, so that it eases the game for them, and you get more enrollments in your coaching program and your SaaS. Sorry.
I think I will just stop at Sam Owens. Because he's like there, and then there are a bunch of people that I have learned from, not from their teachings, but observing how they are doing business.
And what about the ConvertKit founder?
ConvertKit founder, I did buy a course. It was like a small course, but in terms of looking at somebody's thought process in depth and kind of understanding how one thing leads to another, because I believe that school.com could not have been built by anyone else, because Sam Owens used coaching to not just get the distribution, but also understand the product market fit. And then he also used the capital, which was the profit from the coaching, to invest in school. And then he kind of just jumped from that launchpad. Anybody who is trying to build a SaaS from scratch will try to understand how to get the product market fit by having like a focus group, and they don't have an audience to talk to. Then trying to get customers for the SaaS product means that you have to spend money on advertising, and you cannot break even by selling a SaaS product. You can break even by doing an L1, L2, L3.
Just like Russell.
Yes, exactly, right? He pivoted into ClickFunnels, right? So yeah, in terms of learning from Sam Owens and looking at how he has built school, I have like huge respect for him. And I think I keep listening to Sam Owens' courses, mastermind, recordings, the entire library of it, on average at least 2 hours every week, even right now.
Nice.
It's like constantly going back to his teachings. And Rohan from Viewability also would swear by Sam Owens' teaching. He built his entire business based on Sam Owens' model. So yeah, Sam Owens. And then you have like this n number of authors who have read the books from and all that. But in this industry relevant to this, it's Sam Owens.
What about you, Karthik?
I learned it from only one coach, and that's Siddharth. Okay, in 2020.
He's the OG.
Yeah, he's the OG, and I think I really got connected, and I think he's the only mentor I've really like followed.
Nice.
Yes, up to until I started doing into systems automation, it was the L1, L2, L3, but slightly I had to like take a different route because we had to discover a whole new product. So it was not relevant to what product I was selling. But I think getting started with that model, understanding speaking in front of camera, then creating content, using mind maps, all the small things are something that I use it till date, and definitely is very, very relevant, and he's given a great impact in the coaching industry.
I think what he has done in India is what Russell did outside.
Exactly, and in a very subtle way, because it's not about the overhyped or maybe giving that. It's always about like, I think he's content driven, very calm. So I think somewhere I got connected about learning these ideas that for digital marketers, those are basic, right? So if anybody knows marketing, they feel like, okay, these, but for a non-tech person or somebody like me or anybody who has no idea about coaching, that is really a big learning. Understanding what landing pages are, what funnels are, driving traffic. So these are all big things, and he's gone like really in depth of content. Now, I think in last 7-8 years, I believe he's built content that's probably like the biggest at this point for coaches, at least in India. So he's the only mentor I've learned from.
Lovely. And he has been my mentor as well. The only thing, we were together in the same batch.
Right.
The only thing which I could not understand in the community happening was it was going more towards the one-man show thing. And I always believed in building a team. And that was the thing, like, I don't understand this. Because if I need to give support, if I have to just sell courses, it works. But if I need to give them support, if I need to give them accountability, because that's what people now are paying me for that. And if I need to give a lot of stuff to them, I can't do it alone. So if I can't do it alone, I need team. And as I built a team, I couldn't find much of that happening, there. So that's how I reached to Rahul Jain, because he was like system, team, this guy, that guy, this. Because we got to build a big company, boss. What are you thinking?
Correct.
No hanky-panky here, 1 people, 2 people. We need 5, 6 people right now to give that delivery, because we are looking for a bigger company here, bigger valuations. So
even in 2023, I think that's the point exactly. I got diverted because it was not one person. I run a team of 80 people. So through all my organization. So that single coaching wasn't, but I think I picked up the camera, connecting with people, and then learned about through experiences.
He is a very spiritual guy, and he's very grounded, and he never fakes it. That's a very good part of him, and that's a great thing about him, which very few people have. And still able to scale, and still able to grow.
Yes.
But yes, the team thing, I always miss that thing in that, and that's how I got it. The system making, not the automation. Automation is, yes, there's one system, but the system, how do you run a team? How do you run a company? How do you have different departments in a company? And who should take care of what? And how do you delegate? And those things. Because today, I think if I tell any of my alpha members, I always tell them, boss, your setup is done. You started getting leads, get an intern. Because who's going to do the show up? They will become a lead. They have to come in that call, a one-to-one call or a masterclass. How will you get the show up? People, your WhatsApp is not going to get verified very, very fast. Neither your email is going to reach them very fast, because you're not that good in email writing. You need to go to Deepak and learn that, right? And a lot of stuff. So you need to pick the phone and be XYZ and call them. And speak to them. Are they the good leads or not? So one man or one woman cannot do it today. Is 2024 we're talking about.
And I think for coaching, that's like the next step.
Yes.
Building a coaching business with the team, delegating it, running like a company.
Running like a company is the right word. What would I
Apart from Rahul Jain, anyone else that you have learned from?
Siddharth, I've learned. I learned from Sneh Desai. Now we're friends. So that's how it started. So a lot of people, I have learned from lot of people.
Avtar, you have been talking to a lot of international coaches.
Learned from everyone.
Who are
I
your
cannot
favorites?
say one name. Like I've learned from Sam Owens, Alex Hormozy, Russell Brunson interviews. Like I learned from everyone.
Why are you not getting into coaching, you guys?
We eventually would plan to start something.
Lovely. Because it's a simple career ladder, you've done too much for the people. Now let's share it with the people, So it's done for you, done with you, and then teach. So it's a good time.
Performance marketing coaching.
Yeah.
I think you guys are perfectly
you kill it.
in fit for that.
Kill it. Performance marketing coaching, maybe for only coaches,
And
or
very data-driven
maybe
performance
there is
marketing.
one key challenge that we see in performance marketing coaching is that it's gonna die in 5 years. It'll only be content marketing. The platform will
Why
ask
do
you
you
to
Say so.
Just give the creative.
just
and
add your
they'll handle
ads,
everything.
share where you want to
Click
send the
one
traffic to,
Click one.
what kind of people you're looking. Just describe that. Don't even need to select any audience. Just tell a age group, age bracket. These people work.
And then AI will.
Yeah,
machine learning is like taking over.
So everything will narrow down to your offer, your
Offer.
creatives, content.
Which has already happened to a large extent
Yeah.
with Google Ads, right? Like earlier, maybe 5-10 years back, the amount of optimization that you do, like let's say, put a keyword specific budget. What is the CPC for each and every
Right.
keyword? People used to do it manually, but now Google says, just put a daily budget, we will take care
Same
of it.
for Meta also.
Exactly.
Meta has
Same
also
for Meta.
introduced-
Same for
Meta is like declining every other like different options. Audience control and everything is taken by Meta only.
as the lead cost is going up, I think every lead should be taken best care of, just like
Yes.
a child. And for that, you need a team, you need system, you need to pick up the phone. And I think this is something which is going to go up very, very high.
Webinars, workshop, masterclass, one-to-one.
yes.
Just do it all. Just don't let go any
So-
lead.
Any lead.
Which is why instead of performance marketing, it could be broadly a strategic coaching, and that
Yeah.
is also where we add most value to our clients.
Yeah.
It has been always, about the depth we dive in towards their funnel, like
Right.
treating their business as a partner.
I think if you can identify their business model, I think that will be a great help for them, right? What
The
funnel
maximum
to choose
results
and
that we have given to people is not through media buying. It has been through strategic consulting. The game changers for them, which has
This is how
sort of
we have
doubled
evolved in
their
the last
ROI.
3-4 years. We are not investing our time in media buying a lot.
correct.
Our Facebook itself is doing it. Our interventions are very
So
strategic.
you have
now.
copywriters, everything in-house, right? And ScaleX?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. Like
So
we
what's
have
your
a
team
team of
size?
130 people right now.
130. Could be the biggest in coaching industry, right? Okay, great.
It is.
remote.
It is the biggest in the
Yes.
coaching industry.
If I ask you, like, we had the working funnels, like L1, L2 webinars, one-to-ones, but currently the CAC is, increasing. So a lot of coaches were, going to start coaching business in 2024. The CAC is already at the setup at the mark, like 250, 300. Earlier you used to get at 20 rupees, 30 rupees. So what do you suggest for them?
I think Amritanshu can
Start with one-on-ones. Talk to at least 100 people, sell your one-on-ones with them, go on calls with them for at least 7-8 months. Then start building your coaching program.
So the one-on-one in the sense like, is
service.
it an application process to filter?
No,
Or
it's
just
for
begin
your
with-
learning or let's say your understanding.
No, on the funnel perspective. So I run a one-on-one. I say book a call with me. So should it be just name, email ID, phone number, or with multiple questions to filter them? Which is
them, yeah.
better.
So
You
you
get
can
a quality lead.
So for example, let's say I want to start as a business coach today. What I can do is I can conduct a 90-minute webinar, attract free leads for that webinar. And then I can do what Shubh is trying to do, sell a 999 rupee one-on-one call to all of them.
Right.
And then on the call itself, filter out whether you can help that person or not. That is very important. Go with a service mindset. And then maybe customize your product or offering according to them that, hey, I can help you with SOPs, team building, but this is what I cannot help you with. Probably you can refer them to agencies to manage their finances, marketing and stuff like that. But it needs to be an overall package customized for them, for example. Do that with at least 100 people. And then you'll start realizing what you are best at, where you are able to produce results, and that will start selling a lot.
100% agree to that.
What are the departments in coaching industry that all new coaches or existing coaches should make a note? Like finance department, like media buying.
So
Finance, 100%.
right. So
Number one finance.
so I've been personally writing copies for a lot of coaches, and a lot of them have been business coaches. There are only 7-8 departments in a business, and they stay the same across verticals.
Okay.
Irrespective of whether it's a coaching business or it's a franchisee business, you need an HR department, you need a management team, you need a finance department, you need someone or some people to invest time in innovations, R&D. Then you need the key thing is an operations department who is going to manage everything, our marketing team, and then a sales team.
I'll put my question more clearer so that what are the departments required to launch a coaching business? This is to run your business. So if a new coach comes to you, they need a funnel builder, they need a copywriter, they need media buyer.
Yeah.
So what are the main key departments you think to launch a coaching business, which are very key elements?
Probably they should focus on coaching and outsource the rest things.
Yeah.
If they find a good agency.
Right. Let's say that ScaleX is like overloaded at one point of time, right? Let's say that you have 5,000 coaches you're handling tomorrow with a 1,500 team. But at one point of time, if a coach needs to launch it by themselves and not finding not very relevant agencies, though most of them do good, but we know that industry quality of agencies also are not that great in some parts. So at least for knowledge, what are the 4 or 5 things that they should take care before launching it? I think Jitesh and both.
So they send us to us then. They send it to us. So we call it resculas.
Right.
So it starts with rebranding. The first thing is strategy. How do you brand yourself? We talk about the burning problem, burning desire. So that's rebranding. The second is RE. So rebranding. S is sales. Sales funnel. So right, we need to set the sales funnel. It's got to be one-to-one, one-to-many, whatever. Even the coaching has to be one-to-one or one-to-many, because the sales has to happen one-to-one or one-to-many. But there are 2 more funnels, which is a demo class funnel, which generally happens for teachers. If it's an accounts teacher, you don't need to do a one-to-one with them, because I really want to learn accounts. So I don't need to create a need in a clarity call. I need to just teach them, and they need to just see, can they teach it properly or not? So they have to just win and just show the skill of teaching. So that's a demo class funnel. So basically the sales funnel is what I meant. Rebranding, sales funnel, then there's curriculum design. So you need to design your curriculum before making your landing pages, before making your clarity calls or anything. You need to design your curriculum, what you're going to cover. And that's going to take from the current situation to the desired situation of that person, the whole steps. So you design that. And then comes the organic content creation, because at the end of the day, you're going to do video ads. If you do video ads without organic content creation, first of all, they don't have a good profile. Second of all, they are not camera friendly. They need to be camera friendly. So they need to do organic stuff. That is the marketing part. So if I answer that way. So the strategy part, the marketing part, and then the next one is again is offer building. You need an irresistible offer. Then again we are coming to the marketing department, is that your L0 has to be irresistible so that people come for the L0. Then again your L1 has to be irresistible so that they go from the L0 to L1. So that's RESCOO. Yes, the product stack. So RESCOOL is landing page. Again, the marketing department. So you need a good landing page. We all understand that, so that the lead becomes that. And then there is A, which is the ads, so that we can get the right audience from the Facebook or Instagram or Google. And then come S is sales. So majorly if we see, it starts with the positioning or the strategy side, then goes to majorly marketing. If we talk about the department wise, then goes to the sales part.
Google ads or Facebook ads? One answer.
YouTube
Facebook,
ads.
anyone who's starting.
YouTube
Are you
and
talking about a beginner?
anybody.
Beginner
like in
would be
general.
definitely Meta.
Meta and
Scaling YouTube.
So if someone wants to start and wants quality lead at like for the webinar or
If they're
something,
starting, then Meta.
Meta.
they will get the quality lead, because
Yeah.
I've got a lot of complaints that if people start, they get junk leads for the webinar. Like,
They would be doing something wrong.
so
Because for a beginner to
what should they
crack
focus
YouTube,
on? Like
it's very.
in the funnel, in the target audience, or somewhere else, like positioning, branding. Like
Their
what should they
offer, the copy.
what's the budget to start with? Beginner.
500 a day if you're a beginner.
Right. Weekly once, weekly twice webinars.
Thrice.
Thrice.
As many as
Paid
possible.
webinars.
So I'm probably doing the rapid fire round here.
What is working for us is we have scheduled the webinar 3 times a day. It's a free webinar.
3 times a day.
3
Yeah.
times a day.
Live webinar, recorded webinar.
Live any day.
Live. It will convert better.
Live?
Should we go on a recorded?
We've
webinar
done
after?
recorded. We have got similar results. So I'm not very sure about that, because if we are doing it 3 times a day or
Once
3
you have
times a week.
optimized your
Yes,
webinar
after
really well,
optimized.
let's say
If-
you're starting, you'll need at least maybe 20-25 live interactions to optimize it. Once
To
you're
understand.
confident that okay, the conversion rates are very high, that is when we can move towards
I would
automation.
say at least 100.
Yeah.
least
Easily.
Because it has to go like that.
I learned
crazy.
this from him. I think in the start we did at least 100,
That's
150
what,
live
yeah,
webinars.
Yeah.
Because you understand the pulse of
Yeah.
what to
Yeah.
say when.
When?
Right.
The timing, so at least 100.
And I watched at least 50 of his webinars live. So I used to sit at, I think it started at 7 p.m. or something. And I would call and ask how many conversions.
Yeah, you work very closely.
I will ask one rapid fire question. So let's say you have made a lot of money and you are allowed to not diversify. You are allowed to invest all that money that you have made years of working in only one asset, what would that asset be?
I would leave that business.
You would leave that business,
Yes.
but that money, where would
I'll
you
give you the
invest?
reason, and then we'll give you answer. What I have understood is my understanding is business will never be stable. I think we are trying to do something which is impossible, and that's for everyone at any scale. Business will never be stable. We need to get the money out of the business, the profits, build assets so that assets can support us.
Yes.
So I would not do that business. That's why.
What
That's
kind
why
of
the answer.
assets would you build?
It could be real estate. It could be mutual funds. It could be gold. It could be anything which gets me passive income, because only passive income is stable and predictable. Business is not. What I've understood.
That's exactly my question. It could be this, that. What is that one thing? If you are allowed to invest in only one thing, what would you pick?
Me, myself,
Okay. Nice.
my growth, and then
My
my
growth,
team's growth.
yes.
First mine, and if I grow, my team will grow. I know that. Their mindset, their skill set, whatever. So I would invest in a coaching program.
Interesting. You?
Real estate, domains.
You can't take it out.
Domains.
Pick
You
one.
can't take it out.
Achha, real estate.
I would invest in a team.
Okay. And the team's growth?
If you can put it in the same business, then I would put it in the same,
Same
business.
business?
I would build a SaaS, get revenue, and from that revenue, I would buy real estate.
Yeah.
So my ultimate is real estate,
estate.
and I'm from the same school of thought. Robert Kiyosaki, create a passive income, and then build the passive income. Strongly believe you build businesses so that it can fund your assets, and your assets can generate the.
Yes.
Then you
passive
can
income.
build multiple businesses around
Yes.
that.
If it is about taking out that money from the business
Yes.
and then investing,
Investing
then
in one asset,
Yeah.
what
it would be stocks, mutual funds.
Okay.
But if I have knowledge of real estate, then real estate, which I
Real
don't
estate.
do right
Okay.
now.
So I would like to change my answer because
Yes,
that was the
yeah.
thing. I would invest in something which is which I understand. Like I do part-time real estate, so that's why real estate.
Real
But if I have to keep it in my business, I would invest in myself.
Okay. For you, you said you will invest
Real
in
estate.
SaaS.
Yeah,
Real estate.
invest in
Okay.
SaaS, generate a
Okay.
passive income, take those passive income and invest in real estate to generate more passive income.
That's why it's called real estate.
Real estate, yeah.
What's for you?
Bitcoin.
yeah. Because you understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So there's no right answer to it.
Yeah.
You know Bitcoin, he knows something, I know something. I think that's the whole game. With the end of the day, any passive income thing program you do end is what do you understand, and just invest there. You can't go blindfolded. You can't just do that.
Yeah, that's why I don't ask people to invest in Bitcoin. I ask them to study it
Yeah.
and then make their own decision.
Yeah, absolutely right. Agree.
I think one message for all the new coaches coming in one by one. I think that should be the wrapping.
Perfect.
Starting from you.
To all the new coaches, I would say please start coaching after you have done something. In the sense, have you done for you services or done with you? Suppose you want to teach yoga. Are you really good at yoga? In the sense, have you taught it to someone and you've practiced yourself? Then only start. Otherwise, it becomes very risky. You need to be good at it. Not great, but at least good at it to coach. This is especially for the young guys who are 20, 25, that age. But the later ones, I would say start. 30, 40. You already have something. You already have something to share. So start is the thing I would like to say.
Always talk to your people, like talk to your clients, talk to your students, everyone. Like I'm doing this Thursday call thing, the Q&A call thing from last 2.5, 3 years. And just talk to people, like what problems are they having, and just talk, and you will eventually get to know, okay, they are having this problem. You eventually build a product around that or a solution around that, because no one can give you, like no market research can give you that particular problem which they are facing that currently. It's always on call.
Great. Amritanshu.
I would suggest anyone, let's say not just coaches, but anyone starting any kind of business to enter that business not with the mindset of making a lot of money, but enter that business with the mindset of serving people. So service mindset will be a game changer if you are in the business and if you want to stay relevant for long.
Specifically for coaches, I would say don't worry about how do I become unique if there are 10 different coaches in that. Second would be don't hesitate from sales. Sales is just about educating people on what your other offer is. These two things.
So I would say, like all the new coaches, please come into the industry. But as Jitesh was mentioning, I think some sort of expertise, what they've done will be really relevant to help their clients or students. And second important part, as a new coach, I think treat it like a real business. There's nothing like it's a celebrity position, so that you sit on the webinar and people are following you. I think that's like a dopamine high only, but in the reality, I think connecting with students, like how Tar mentioned, is like what really makes a coaching industry different. I think we need to like take out that barrier of we are behind the scenes, on the stage, off the stage, doesn't matter. We are together on solving that one problem. I think new coaches should just pick up that as a line.
We talk about I'll just add one thing in that, because we have coffee here and you talked about that. So we have a proximity model which says that, boss, you started coaching just like coffee. Stay close to that guy who just bought your coaching, right? Stay close, because your impact is low. You can just give heat to maybe 1 people, 2 people, 3 people max by 1 cup of coffee. But as you increase your heat, your impact is going to go up, and you're going to become from a coffee maybe to a candle, from a candle to a stove to a campfire to a meteoroid, and a meteoroid to a sun. When you become that sun in few years, then you'll serve millions or billions. But give it some time. Give it some time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Didi?
My advice would be write 1,000 words every day. Everybody wants to build a personal brand. Everybody wants to publish a book. Everybody wants a lot of followers. But I think it starts with writing, because even if you want to speak, how will the thoughts flow? The thoughts flow when your thought pattern is clear, and the thought pattern gets clear when you write. So if you keep writing 1,000 words every day and do it the first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up, before you do anything, right?
Writing
before
or
the
typing?
chaos. Typing. Yeah, typing.
Yeah, what's the difference?
It's the same, I think.
The same?
Yeah. Whether you want to write or type, I think I do type, I call it writing. So that's how I have built my career. And whenever I get stressed, I write. I don't see writing as a stressful work, because once you start putting yourself into writing, then your thoughts gets focused, it's meditation.
It just flows.
It just flows.
Yeah,
right?
journaling is powerful.
Very
Yeah.
powerful.
So, and do a public journal, create a Substack blog, write to the world, because whatever you learn, like, you go to a workshop, let's say people who are listening to this podcast, what did they learn? You are not going to like take notes, and that notes are not going to be managed well. But if you have a blog which you are writing to the public, you are managing your own notes in a very organized way through the years. So the notes on digital marketing that I have taken from 2013 is on my blog, Digital Deepak. That's how I see it.
2013.
Yeah, that's when I started writing about digital marketing. And digitaldeepak.com was registered in 2013. So that was like probably 3 articles a month, but consistently until 2016, which built a list, and then slowly it started compounding from there. So write. Yeah.
Awesome.
People are building businesses out of just summarizing bigger YouTube videos. That's it.
Yes,
They are
that
doing
can
it
also
through
be
AI.
done. Yeah.
So it's just that, right.
Yes.
We didn't touch that topic. We didn't even touch
Part
it.
two. Yeah.
We didn't
Part
touch
two.
AI, because that's itself is a
Yeah.
huge thing on coaching.
Right.
Because it can completely make it irrelevant in lot of niches.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting one.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
ScaleX
That's it.
podcast.
Yes, lovely.
Thank you, everyone.